The figures are very worrying indeed. It's believed close to 1 million people have been cut off from access to food and medical aid in the past year. Here in Bama town in Borno, clear evidence of just how dire the crisis has become.
Behind me, as you see here, is a graveyard where they buried the mortality cases. Most of the cases died because of hunger and lack of water, and then followed by lack of medicine.
A month ago, MSF said more than 1,200 people had died of starvation and illness. That's in Bama hospital compound alone.
They are not allowed to go out of the camp. They are all within the camp. And from here, either to the military points, apart from the military joints, they are not going to go anywhere. They are residing here.
MSF says at least 15% of children here are suffering from life-threatening malnutrition.
We've been in this queue for the last 3 days now. We have no water and no food, and that's what's worrying us.
Aid agencies are only allowed in with a military escort. The army is busy battling Boko Haram, and the militants have a strangle grip on key access roads in the region. Catherine Omwando, CCTV.
Well, on a final question to you, though, a humanitarian crisis definitely unfolding there in northeast Nigeria now. Will the United Nations be opening up emergency food camps in those areas affected in Nigeria? How closely is the organization monitoring this situation, and what about funding?
Well, to take funding, first of all, that is certainly one of the key issues. And again, that was raised in the debate at the United Nations on the situation in Nigeria and the Lake Chad Basin overall. And Stephen O'Brien mentioned with clear frustration that there just isn't enough resources at the moment. He said in his statement, "For months I have been shouting into what feels like an empty room." So some very strong language from him, and said that the means to support the humanitarian response in Nigeria at the moment does not match the staggering scale of the need. He reported that the 2016 humanitarian response plan for Nigeria is only 28% funded. So that shows you the huge shortfall that there is in terms of the resources that are needed to fight this famine. And he said the plans for Niger, Cameroon and Chad are also similarly underfunded. So he appealed very strongly for all member states to increase their funding dramatically. As for the food camp question, well, as you heard, Médecins Sans Frontières are calling on the UN to do more and set up emergency food pipelines to these affected areas. But of course, one of the big problems is that the roads in the area are especially unsafe for aid convoys, not only because of mines, but also because it's very hard to find any military escorts who are willing to make those very dangerous journeys. So it's becoming more inaccessible as a region. No mention so far of any specific plans to set up food camps, but Stephen O'Brien did say that he is working with aid agencies to scale up their capacity in the region to establish field hubs, send more supplies there, and work with NGOs as well to send more staff to the region. And he mentioned, in fact, that organisations like UNICEF and the World Food Programme have what he called ambitious plans to scale up their operations in the region. But once again, it all comes down to resources. He said the funding isn't there at the moment for those ambitious plans to take place.
All right, Loana Shadik for us in New York. Thank you.